Good morning, everybody, and welcome back into the second week of the LEGO Legend of Zelda Custom Set Showcase Wave 3, where we mix the Zelda series with LEGO sets and design our own outcomes. Today we're going to be taking a look at a small one. We've got to balance you out here with Z0040 with 54 pieces. This is the 3 days accessory pack, which is a bit of a weird take on the LEGO accessory pack genre. Okay, so you can see here that this is a blister pack, which is designed around that same style as the ones we've had for Marvel and DC and Harry Potter and City, and you know the style. We have 4 minifigures in a side build, besides behind a blister pack minifigure, which you can see on your screen now, using our purple box art as always for Wave 3 for ages 8 and up with 54 pieces, retailing for £12.99 and containing 4 minifigures, just like I said. And this is obviously based off Majora's Mask. Let's give a quick read to that description, and then we can get straight into it. So, get ready for the dawn of the final day with the LEGO Legend of Zelda accessory pack. Forge a sword with the blacksmiths, or race beavers for bottles, or maybe have tea with Zubora. The choice is yours, but time is short. Acting as a perfect expansion to your LEGO Legend of Zelda world, these 4 exclusive minifigures and scenery add depth to your play or display. And that is right. Here is another opportunity for me to make 4 minifigures that otherwise would probably not make it into the showcase. And I actually really love this opportunity, and I think it was a really great one actually in how it came out. So, looking inside our packaging, here is everything that you get. Like I mentioned, there are 4 minifigures and a ream of accessories, which we'll take a closer look at first. So, based off Majora's Mask, I chose to target 2 of the more infamous side quests in the game, one of which being the sword upgrading quest, and that is what we're taking a look at first here. We have these items from the Mountain Village Blacksmiths from the Goron area of Majora's Mask. We have Zubora's green couch, which is what he sits on and drinks his tea on, which we also have included a little tray and 2 teacups and a teapot for Zubora, and then a small blacksmith's anvil, and obviously a hammer which Gabora is holding. Here is that couch up close, and you can see it is lime green in colour. It has some 1x2 curves up on the back, as well as using a modified plate with a flower stuck into it for the armrests. And then actually there's a bit of an extension out the front to make him a bit more balanced. No studs this time, although maybe I could have added the 2x2 with only 2 studs. Tiles on there so he'd actually be able to sit. And you probably could fit 2 figures on there at a squeeze, although it would be fairly uncomfortable, and we have no link included in this set. Next up, we have the rest of the accessories. Obviously, some of these you have already seen. However, for the beavers, we have 2 rings, which I guess you would swim through, even though they're a bit small. A bottle, which is obviously what you win in the beavers race. And then one of the beavers actually has on his life ringy kind of thing, which is another accessory, I guess, for the set. However, one other thing to point out is if you've been collecting other sets in the waves, you could buy the Macau minifigure from the Series 1 Legend of Zelda Lego CMFs, which is a set that I have designed. And you could play, he adds to this perfectly, Child Link from Gomez Nest and the other one from Macau from the CMF, and they would add and expand upon this set besides the 4 minifigures that you've got. Anyway, going into these minifigures, how I actually chose them was I knew I wanted to do Majora's Mask and go for some of the more obscure characters, and well, I didn't really know how I got to this point, but we definitely did start with the blacksmiths and the beavers because they're some of the quirkier and yet more well-known characters from the side of Majora's Mask, and I think it's a really nice opportunity to have them together. Not sure how realistic this is as a premise, but we're going to ignore that for now. And first up, our first minifigure is Zubora here, who is the blacksmith that sits on that little lime couch and does none of the work. Here he is with his new face print in a very pale skin tone with his little goatee and a little bit of hair showing from his traditional pirate bandana piece. He has a small moustache as well as standardized eyes. Then on his torso he has a little bit of arm printing and then a very simple torso print with his nipples showing, and then he has some dark blue mid legs with some boot printing. Next up, we have the other blacksmith, Gabora, the hulking giant, who some may argue should have been a fig or a Hagrid fig. However, giving him long legs instead of mid legs makes him stand out against Zubora even, at least slightly. He comes with his giant hammer made out of a couple of pieces very similar to a Joker or Harley Quinn hammer, and that sticks on a 1x6 bar piece which he can hold. He has dual molded arms which have his gloves on the end in dark tan. He has his ape-like chest printing clothing, his furry collar, which maybe could have been the Craven the Hunter piece, but I'm low on pieces in the accessory sets, some dual molded legs with some nice belt and upper leg printing, some toe printing, and then he's reusing the Iron Man helmet from the 2020 line of sets with a custom print on there to represent his weird little helmet thing. Moving into the beavers, first up we have the older beaver brother who has a custom molded headpiece just for him. He's been given long legs as he's again taller than the younger beaver brother. He has some nice dark blue legs with some side of foot printing. He has the rubber ring recolored in red and white to represent his ring, which maybe should have been orange, although I'm going to see that as red. It's the same color as the master mode loading screen. Next up, we have his little waistcoat piece, which is really simple printing, but if you're going to do a big molded piece like his head, then I can't really do too much detail elsewhere. That's just how sets work. He has got hands, but that's more so he can hold the rings or the bottle rather than giving him the weird dolphin flipper piece. I think it's much more important to playability to have hands than have feety wing things. And finally, we have the younger beaver brother, who's definitely one of my favourite of the Wave 3 minifigures, once again using printed mid-legs to show the bottom half of his swimsuit, and then he has some printing on his torso, some plain yellow or orange arms, which again aren't wings, just for playability, and yet another exclusive moulded head. I chose not to give him the sparkle eyes just because, and he's actually using the Kevin Minion hairpiece at the top of his head. He's got his nice chubby cheeks and no backpack because again, once again, this is an accessory pack, and this guy's based off his 3DS version, which is slightly different from the image you're seeing on screen, although I just love the way the beavers look in the N64 version. Not to mention, he has a giant teeth. And that's going to do it for taking a look at the 3 days accessory pack Z0040. Hope you enjoyed this small bit quirky and somewhat unrealistic set. I really like what I was able to put together here, and with all the molds, I think this set still manages to stand on its own. I was definitely inspired, I think, by the recent Spider-Man one, which had all really cool head molds and reprints, and then had the trashy build that was the Venom Buggy. To be honest, I'm really kind of wanting to do like a spoof one where I do something like the Link car or something. But maybe that's for a future day. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this set. Let me know what you thought of it down below, as well as any improvements or thoughts you have on it, and I guess just the wave in general. But now it's time for us to take a look at what's coming next time. And well, you can see that already our board is starting to fill up with custom sets. Next week is honestly, this one's one of my favorites. Z0041 with 442 pieces and no minifigures. So if you're thinking it's Suga, it's not. I really, really love this one. It's 18 plus, by the way. Maybe you can guess it in the comments, but this has honestly been one of my favorite out of all 50 that I've done. I really hope you're looking forward to this one. Guesses down below, thoughts on this one down below. Consider subscribing if you're enjoying the custom set showcase, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.